Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back. This is Old School Gamer. We're back here with another video today. So Sony had an event about a year ago with a bunch of Sony's TV show creators where Sony invited them to their district campus to try out their new VR headset. And while a lot of them were also intrigued by it, but Vince Gilligan, the creator for Breaking Bad, spoke up and said that he actually wanted to experiment with the VR headset and see what he could actually create out of it. So now Sony has announced that Vince, Sony, and also Sony's video game studio PlayStation are now going to be teaming up to try and create a non-video game VR experience out of the Breaking Bad series. Now, this might be kind of confusing to you on wondering, wow, what the fuck is Sony actually going to be taking? What they're actually going to be doing with this VR experience for the Breaking Bad series? Because, like I said, this isn't going to be a video game related VR experience. It's going to be a non-video game VR experience. So, what kind of route are they going to be taking with this? I don't know. I could honestly see them taking a Telltale video game experience out of this, but this isn't going to be a video game experience. So I'm honestly kind of confused on what kind of route they're going to be taking with this. But Polygon did reach out to the president of Sony, Sean Layden, to see if he could actually make a comment on this project to actually clear up some of the confusion. And this is actually what he had to say. We're working with Sony Pictures and Vince Gilligan to bring a Breaking Bad VR experience out. I don't know what it's going to be, no idea what it's going to do, but they're very keen at looking at virtual reality as a new medium. It's not an extension, it's not an upgrade of a current medium. It's a brand new platform, and movie directors and film directors are going to have to learn new disciplines in order to tell the story in that kind of world where the viewers got completely free agency on where they go, where they look, and what they see. So it is pretty damn clear that he has absolutely no idea what they're going to be doing with this VR headsets, or what kind of route they're going to be taking with this VR headset, or what they're actually going to be able to do with this project at all. That they're pretty much just going to be experimenting with it and seeing what works and what don't. Pretty much piecing little bits, parts, and to get together to see what comes up out of this project at the very end. And also, since resources to make proper 360-degree live action videos are pretty limited, they are actually going to have to create this whole VR experience all out of computer graphics. So it is going to look a bit like a video game or maybe even a cartoon, depending on what they want to make it look like. Hopefully they make it look as realistic as possible, as realistic as they can, because it is VR, so they are going to have to probably cut down the graphics a little bit for it. I'm not too sure on how VR actually works. I never actually used a VR headset myself. I don't really look up into it because I don't want to get my hopes up too high for it, because the way my eyesight is, I would probably be unable to actually use a VR headset, so I don't really get too fucking hyped up for things like this. And since they are going to be making this VR experience for the Breaking Bad series out of computer graphics, to me that really isn't that big of a deal, especially if they are going to be planning on letting you walk around during a scene, or maybe even just move your head and get like a better view of things and see what's going on. To me, that really isn't going to be a big deal if it's going to look a bit cartoony or as realistic as possible, since there are very limited supply or resources to make proper 360-degree live action video. You know, they do have the 360 camera, but I don't think that's going to be too efficient or too good or well enough to actually make a VR experience out of. So they're pretty much just going to be using what they got available and just pretty much going to be doing whatever the best they can with whatever they have. Now, I'm not too sure if I've said this yet in the video, but there hasn't been any type of release date yet, or even any type of information on what kind of actors are going to be upon this, or like I said, what kind of route they're going to be taking or anything like that. There's barely any information except for the little statement that Sean Layden has given out to Polygon and also a bunch of other websites. A bunch of other websites have different type of statements that Sean Layden made to them, so you guys can check all that out in the description below. But I will say this, if this project does not include Aaron Paul or at least Bryan Cranston, this project will not be worth my time, especially if it does not include Bryan Cranston. You know, I can deal without Jesse Pinkman, but if they do not have Heisenberg or Walter White, whatever you want to call him, if they do not have that in this VR experience, this is not going to be worth my time, and I imagine this isn't going to be worth a lot of other people's times. But I assume that they are actually going to have to be putting this in a time period of sometime in Breaking Bad. Hopefully they do a time period to where he's already met Gus and he is working for Gus, working at the laundromat. If you guys have seen the series, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil absolutely anything about this series, so But other than that, guys, I'm ending off the video there. I believe I got all the information I could. I got all my thoughts out the way. This is really just a video of my thoughts on this VR experience for the Breaking Bad series. I honestly don't even know what the fuck to call it. I'm just going to call it the Breaking Bad VR experience, or VR experience for the Breaking Bad series. I don't know. I'm going to call it something like that. But like I said, I'm ending off the video there. Hopefully I got enough information to you guys. Hopefully you guys made some sense out of this, because this took me a long time to fucking make. But other than that, I hope you guys put your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below, because I would love to know what you guys think about this. What kind of route do you think Sony is actually going to be taking with this VR experience for the Breaking Bad series? What do you think they're going to do with it? What do you think is going to come out of it? How do you think it's going to turn out? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think it's going to be worth your time? Do you think it needs to have Bryan Cranston in it? Anything like that, put it down in the comment section below. And as always, have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever time you guys are watching this. As always, keep it old school. I'll catch you guys in the next video later. And as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was a good video.